Johnson.
All right, the new album is out today. When you put out a project like your last couple of projects that are so beloved, do you feel an extra pressure for everything to continue to be amazing, where you start second guessing things?
No, I feel pressure like all the time. I'm the worst guy with feeling pressure, but it's weird. Like I kind of feel like I thrive under pressure, and so you always want to outdo your last record. Like you're only as good as your last song. You're only as good as your last record. At any moment it could all be gone. That's the kind of like the way
I believe that. Yeah.
I try to live every day like it's the last one. Like you're trying to put it in. But this one, I knew I didn't want to do a double album again. But here we were with 24 songs. So today you're getting the first half of the deluxe edition. Within 360 days, I'm going to pile 12 more on you. But I think that this one is probably the best group of songs I've ever had.
Now, do you think that every time? I think that every time. And then I would hope as 3 years from now, because I'll go back and listen to either jokes I've told on stage or things I've written. I'm like, ooh, kind of embarrassed by that. But I should be, right? If I'm getting better and I'm developing, I should almost look back at things and go like, ooh. So do you feel every project that you're putting out is the best you've ever done?
To that point.
Yes.
And I feel like you should feel that way. Like it's the best that I can do up to this point. This time I had some of my own songs in the pile. And they didn't make it.
You cut your own songs?
No, I cut my own songs out of the pile because they just weren't as good as what I had sitting next to it. And man, when I say like I sat down with Chris Lacey from Warner Music Nashville, and I was like, "How do you feel about this record?" And she's like, "This is the toughest record I've ever worked on." She said, "Because I feel like there's like 13 or 14 singles, and that's really really hard." That's why we decided to space it out 12 and 12 to give the consumer and the listener more time to live with these songs, figure out what streams the best, what makes you cry, what makes you laugh, what's your go-to in the morning, and then give more time to get more singles, because I only had 2 singles off that last double album, and I was like, man, a lot of great songs got really shortchanged right there.
Did you feel like after you finished recording all the songs, you were like, dang, we had a couple more we should even recorded that weren't the 24?
I always have, like, I'm still finding songs, and I'm like, guys, what about this one? What about this one? They're like, we're putting the record out, like that's enough. But I'm always like constantly thinking about how could we record something to make something cool.
Do you do the thing where you get something and you're like, I love it, but you have a little bit of recency bias because you just heard it, maybe more than something you've already recorded, but you've lived with it a long time? You're like, no, I love this, but really maybe because it's just new to you?
So we do what we call love or hate. Like it's black or white. There's no gray. Like, because you wouldn't marry somebody if you're like, man, I really like them. there's something about them I just don't like.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So like, and it's nothing against songwriters or songs, because they're all great songs. And it just depends on who cuts them, where the song winds up. But when we're listening to demos and stuff and I'm picking songs, it's either immediately you either love it or you hate it. And if you hate it, it's out of the pile. That way you don't have that, like, I feel like I shouldn't have done that. But
who else do you give the love-hate option to? You and who else?
It's pretty much just me.
Okay, good. I was going to say, man, because somebody hated something I loved.
Well, you did say we.
Well, so usually it's me and Scott Gunner and Chris Lacey and Trent Willman, and we'll kind of sit around and go through these songs. Now, I will say this. I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. So, like, Till You Can't was not my first single choice off the last record.
But did you hate it?
No.
Okay.
I loved it, but I loved other things more.
Right.
And everybody else in the room said, Till You Can't. And I went, okay, I have y'all in the room for a reason. I'll trust you guys.
Wow, you did that. How you trusted them.
We got a big old number 1 hit out of it. So.
And that allows you to trust them more?
I think so. But at the end of the day, they're not having to perform it every night. So I have to really remind myself, like, I'm the one putting the skin on, so I have to really like make my own opinion valuable. And so far it's working.
What about home? Like you go home, are you able to shut off being Cody Johnson, the country superstar?
Every time I go home. Like it pisses my manager's probably, he's going to hear this. It pisses him off because like I just don't answer the phone. I shut it off. When I go home, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a cattle rancher, I'm a team roper, horse trainer. That's just, I shut it off. I go get in a deer stand. I just live normally, and I don't turn it on until it's time to get in the car to go to the airport, to get in the jet, to come back to work, to turn that guy on. And it's like it helps me compartmentalize pressure. It helps me compartmentalize how much things have changed very drastically in the last 2 or 3 years. When I come out here, it's like the fighter mentality. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to take over. And then when you go home, you're like, whew, okay, that's done. I'm going to sit around and watch a hunting show and just chill,
Do you feel like you have to, when I'm on the air, I'm definitely an elevated version of myself because I got to be here. I got to be entertaining, compelling. I got 5 hours every single day. If you meet me out, I ain't this. I'm quiet.
Me too.
Do you feel like people are sometimes surprised with maybe how quiet and maybe laid back you are versus who they see on the stage freaking dominating?
I'm a social introvert. Like I don't like to people. But I will say, like, once you get to know me, I'm kind of wild too. Like when I'm in my inner circle, I can let loose pretty hard, and I like having fun, man. Just enjoying life. So I think if fans ever got to hang around me off the stage, they'd be like, "Whoa, this is a little different." But I think you have to do that, man. I mean, I'm not being someone else when I'm on stage for sure, but you're there for, like you said, for a purpose. My job is to make sure that you get the best show you've ever seen when I'm on that stage. Whether I have fever, whether I'm tired, whether my voice hurts, no matter whatever it is, my job is to make sure that that's the best show you've ever seen.
Your album cover has your bloody hands, and Amy was telling us a story where I guess the guy that was talking was like, "We got to get those hands," because you'd been working. What's the real story behind that?
That's true. We didn't stage it. So I'm doing an article next week for the American Quarter Horse Association, and we needed pictures of a bunch of my horses. So I called Chris Douglas. He does amazing work. He did my Cowboys and Indians cover. He did like a lot of the old Marlboro Man stuff, and like some Wrangler shoots too. So like he's got a great eye. And so I was like, come down, we'll do the AQHA stuff. And I was like, the next day we're gonna work cows. Like we got to brand cattle, we got to castrate a bunch of bulls, we got to doctor all the calves, and you may as well just shoot it. And at the end of the day, like I'm in my leggings and I'm covered in blood and spit and sweat and everything else and hair. And I get on my horse and I set my hands down, and I was literally just kind of like the day's over. He's like, don't move. That's the shot. Like that is the shot. And so when I saw it, I thought like, that's a great cover for leather. It says a lot. It's not just a piece of material. It's the hard work and the grit that goes into it.
Why do you still work like that?
That's just who I am, man.
Do you enjoy it?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you enjoy castrating cows?
Well, you castrate bulls. If you can castrate a cow, what is 2023? Maybe?
No, you're right. Hey, Cody, hey, ag major here. Sorry, I should have said bull, but yeah, you genuinely like it.
Yeah, it's fun. Like you living on a ranch the way we do. It's very simple. Like my daughters are 8 and 6, and there's a lot of talks that we're not going to have that are going to be awkward because they know that the bull breeds the cow and creates the calf, and then the calf is born, and we raise the calf, and we sell the calf, and then the people eat the calf, and it's like circle of life. We live very simply, but the cowboy way of life is something that I do. Like I don't let anybody else do my work for me. I get up and go to work.
Yeah, I would. I for sure would. Yep. I'll be out. I'm good. I got somebody that mows the yard now. It's pretty awesome, to be honest with you. So with this record here, Leather, there's some of the songs, for example, if I were to Ray, would you play a little bit of number 6, please? This is Jesus Loves You. What drew you to this song right here?
It's angry. This is very much this guy in the song is very much like me. Well, I say that it was a little hard for me to believe at first when he says at the end, like, the reason I didn't shoot you is because my gun was in my truck. I didn't believe that part because I was like, I have a truck gun, like it just stays in there. The other one is the bed, and the other one is in the pantry. You know, I mean, like, but that guy is very much like me in that it's a dominant male looking at another guy that thinks he's a dominant male and going, let me tell you something. You ever come near my family again, that's it. You got one shot. God must love you. He must have a plan because I was going to kill you that night. And it's very serious. It's very angry. And I hadn't recorded a song like that. You know, that's a side of me that the fan so far has not gotten to see. And whenever I sing a sad song, I want to make you cry. So I'm really trying to channel whatever's sad. If I'm going to sing an angry song, I went back to places and things in my life that maybe I should probably bring up in a therapy session and got really angry and let that guy be recorded. And that's fun. Like just exploring that different facet of myself and music and artistry. That's just fun, man.
That's why I brought it up. It felt like something I hadn't heard you do.
That's the only reason I recorded it. I was hoping that somebody would say that.
Hey, look at us. And I hope to never castrate a bull. So, does it hurt? Does the bull go, ouch?
You'd be amazed at how many times they just stand there. You're like, wow. Like, that is incredible. Just try to, put yourself in that position.
No, I'd rather not. I'd rather not do that. Cody Johnson is here. The new album called Leather is out. You're playing a lot. You're playing a lot of shows. These shows are getting massive.
Yeah, they are.
I feel like you're playing so many shows and you've committed to so many shows that you've committed, and there are too many people at these shows that you could easily go play bigger places.
Yeah.
But you want to work, so you do all these shows. But by the time you get halfway through it, you could have played a venue twice as big.
You know, I think you could have, but there's a lot of risk involved in that. You know, you see everybody wants the big right now, as quick as I can get it. You know, that's why people, You know, they sign a record, the first record deal that comes along, and maybe it wasn't the best deal, but they get that dangling, I call it the dangling carrot. You know, everybody wants the dangling carrot. Like, well, I've been doing this for 15 years, and so it's like, I don't ever want to put my cart before the horse because I want to do this until I'm in my 80s. You know, I want to be around for as long as I can be around and be relevant in country music. So I don't think that it's like, well, man, I need to be playing stadiums. We're going to get there. Like, it's like I can see the future. Like, I know it's coming, but I don't want to do it too quickly. I feel like a lot of people jump too quickly, and then that's when they implode.
On the Leather Tour, you got one of my buddies, Justin Moore, with you. That's pretty cool. You guys...
He's a great guy.
He's a good dude. We're from the same, like, almost the same town in Arkansas, too. So when you call Justin up, you're like, hey, man, we're doing a cowboy hat tour. What's it like? But your hat can't be bigger than mine, you know? Since you're the star, your hat's got to be this size.
No, we had sat down, and my manager, Howie, was like, dude, like, we're changing up acts. You know, what do you think about this guy? Yeah. What do you think about this girl? Yeah, that's perfect. And he's like, Justin Moore. I was like, well, yeah, dude. Like, we've had a relationship from back in the day. Like, we've toured together before where I was opening for him. So it's a great fit.
I want to play a little bit of The Painter, which is the new single here. When you guys decide that the Painter is going to be the one that you focus and feature, what happened in that meeting? Were you in that one, or were they like, was it you?
Yeah, we were all on the phone. Trying to figure out, because, you know, there are songs on this record that every one of us felt passionately about for different reasons. And just so you know, like, in my camp, we don't ever go like, this would work for radio. Radio would play this. This would fit a format. There's not an agenda. We're just trying to figure out what best represents me, best represents what I can get up and do live with my band, because that is my passion, man. If I've ever been addicted to a drug in my life, it is playing live music for people. Like, that's my happy place where everything's perfect and I don't have to worry about anything. So when I heard the demo of this song, I knew it was special, but it's not like Till You Can't. It's not like this big vocal show off. It's very simple. It's very organic, and we decided to keep it that way. We used a resonator instead of a acoustic guitar just to give it a little bit more of a grassroots sound, which gave me an excuse to buy a new guitar, by the way. But it for me, it was about the lyrics. Like, right before you cut that off, the next lyric was, for every wall I built, she saw a canvas. That is the most descriptive thing I've ever heard in a song about me and my wife. I mean, I'm a pretty hard-headed, tough cowboy, and she has a way to turn all that into something beautiful. And she's stuck with me through the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and she's never faltered on me. And she's pretty much the reason. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here. And I'm not just saying that. And so for me, she is the painter. She brings the color to my life, you know, like my little girls, and, you know, helping me to be a better person and to really search myself and to try to actually be a better guy every day. And so, like, when I heard that, I was like, you know, I don't really care if anybody loves this song. I love this song. So when you hear me singing it, the passion's real. It's not fake.
Winning the Grammy. You won the Grammy.
What's that?
The Grammy.
I didn't win it.
Wait, what? I thought you were nominated for it.
This was.
I thought you won the thing.
No, it was just Song of the Year for the songwriters.
They still won it in my mind.
I don't have one. They didn't give me a trophy. Ben Stennis and Matt Rogers got one.
Yeah, but I feel like you're right. Song is for, but they don't get it if it's not for you.
You know, it was really cool though, because, like, on that day, I was at home and we had sent Ben and Matt out to LA to go to the deal, and both of those guys called me and were like, just, dude, you've changed our lives. Like, I got a publishing deal out of this. You know, my wife and I paid off our house, and it was like, it kind of brought me to tears.
I can't believe they don't give you one too. That's wild.
I didn't get one. I was actually at a team roping the day that. I'm so disappointed.
They should have got you like a mini one at least. You know?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like
they just wouldn't have got it without you. It won Song of the Year, but that's you.
Man, it makes me a little disappointed that Till You Can't sat in Nashville for 10 years before anybody recorded it.
And I'm like, the right person to record it though too, you know?
I believe that. I'll take that credit, but I still think that those guys deserve that for writing an incredible song, because that song, they can talk about how I changed their life all they want. That song changed my life.
How about CMAs? I know for sure you have CMA trophies.
Yes.
Do you have them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, CMAs, CMTs. Hopefully we get an ACM someday.
You can probably get whatever you want if you just said it. You got a very passionate base that will fight for you.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's awesome.
It is really cool. It's a little cultish.
Yeah, and you want to keep it right on the fine line. You want to keep it on the fine line of they're a little cultish, but they're not crazy.
Yeah, we're like a nice cult.
I don't know. What's your family think? You're blowing up. Do you ever have like second cousins? They're like, hey man, you're coming to Colorado. I'm your second cousin. Can I get in?
I always say my fence is very high and the circle is small. Like a long time ago, I just kind of started like, I don't want people around me that want something from me because of all this, because I'm not wrapped up in it. I don't care if I won 20 Grammys and we're headlining every stadium in the world. I'm still this guy. Like, and I always will be. It doesn't matter how much money, doesn't matter how much fame. None of that stuff doesn't perk my interest, even though it's part of it. So like I'm very selective about who I let in the inner circle and who I associate myself with. I want positive people that love me for just me, whether there's a guitar or not.
Couple final questions. I saw you sing with Reba, and that's just awesome.
That was the coolest thing.
It's just
ever.
awesome, yeah. So Reba, let's take her out of the mix though. But who are a couple of those other people that you've been able to do something professionally with, where you're like, this is so freaking cool? I know Jelly Roll's on the album.
Yeah, and that was kind of, so you played Jesus Loves You. I was driving, or I was not driving. I was riding the bus to Nashville to come record vocals, and I sent Jelly Jesus Loves You, and I was like, dude, I used to work at a prison. You've been to prison. We're friends. Like, your face tattoos, I'm cowboy hat. Like, how cool would it be to be on this song that has like this dirty, gritty thing? And he's like, I'm totally in. You know, I'm whatever you want to do. And he's like, what else you been recording? So I sent him Whiskey Bent, and he's like, man, I'm in tears right now. Like, this song just wrecked my heart. And I was like, well, let's just do that together. So again, the song just found its rightful spot. That day, we started off the day recording Long Live Country Music with Brooks and Dunn. And me and Kix and Ronnie all got IVs that morning, just sitting around chilling, drinking coffee, and then record this song. Randy Houser comes by. I sing a song with him for his album, and then Jelly Roll comes in, and I'm like, this is not a bad day. Like, this is a pretty incredible day, you know? But I will say this, like, you know me, I'm not, like, I don't get intimidated or starstruck by people. I've been around Reba for the last 3 or 4 years and never been, when she walked out on stage and we're singing together, I was like, holy shit, this is the real deal. I got a little nervous. She's pretty intimidating.
I want to play a little bit of that Whiskey Bent with Jelly Roll.
So listen, like, if there's two things about picking songs for me, I don't want to know the songwriters. I don't want to know who wrote it. That way, by the end of it, I find new writers and I go, man, what else does she have? What else does he have? Like, that's how I found Matt Rogers. Matt Rogers got 3 cuts on the last record, and I'd never heard of him before. Now I'm like on the phone, hey buddy, you been writing lately? But this song, when I saw the title, Whiskey Bent, I was like, I hate it. Because you think like Whiskey Bent and Hellbound, this is going to be like a redneck, you know? And then I heard the hook, and it just completely wrecked me.
The opposite of cliche.
Wow. I'm still trying to straighten up what Whiskey Bent. And I don't care whether, and it doesn't matter if it could be whiskey or some other substance or some behavioral pattern or whatever it is in your life. Like, I feel like we all have that. Like, you made a mistake and it lingers and you're still trying to fix it. And it's so relatable, man.
Yeah, it's a good one. The album, Leather, it's out. I want to end with this question because you used to work at a prison. You mentioned it. But did anyone in prison ever send a letter off to like a lady, and then the lady fell in love with him, and then when he got out of prison, they stayed together?
I don't know. I'm sure that has happened.
But you don't know, because this guy's happening with Amy right now. Well, this guy's been writing Amy letters from prison.
That's probably not a good idea.
Okay.
Oh, is that your official statement?
I think that maybe that's not the best life choice you've ever made.
I have not engaged.
That's good.
I have just received, and I
would be maybe more concerned about like a private security team to figure out how he got your address.
No, he mailed it to the station.
Here at the studio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'd be very concerned. Yeah. No. Please don't show up at my house. No. It was sent here, but not to him. Just anybody.
Yeah. So you don't think it's a good deal for her? She's trying to like branch out and try new things.
I don't think this is one of those things you should do.
All right. Well, we heard it here. We heard it here. You know a lot, my friend. Record's out today. You're finishing up the Cody and Friends tour up until December, but the next year, January, all the way through July, Cody Johnson's out with Justin Moore and Dylan Carmichael, and Chris Jansen's doing some of those days as well. But I hope you guys go over to CodyJohnsonMusic.com, get tickets, check out the record. It's out today. I always love seeing you. I appreciate you coming by.
Man, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, Cody,
seriously.
A+. There he is, Cody Johnson, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
It's a Bobby Bones show.